Detox Smoothie. So I got everything out here right now, you guys. I got the frozen wild blueberries. Look at that nice bowl of frozen wild blueberries. Look at that, which is great. Got the bananas, of course, gotta have that. Gotta have the cilantro. That's something that you have to have. And Atlantic Dulce right there. Got some oranges here too. Got the Spirulina, got the barley grass juice powder. The best there is out there, hands down. Got some wild blueberry powder too. So the medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie has saved a lot of lives. It's been out there a long time. I've been teaching people about it for many decades. Hello, Loon. Hello, everybody coming on. Natural Beauty came on. Everybody's coming on now. And so the heavy metal detox smoothie has been a big part of getting people's lives back, getting people off of Mattress Island, getting people off of Couch Island, getting people back to work again, getting people to function again. And we have to think about that, the power of what the heavy metal detox smoothie has done for people. We're talking reversing serious debilitating diseases, conditions, symptoms, anxiety, depression, bipolar, OCD. People with crippling OCD got their lives back. I'm not talking about mild OCD where your thoughts are just compulsive. And I'm talking about where you feel like you have to act on those compulsions to such an extreme, it completely invades your life, takes over your life, and then you're trapped. I'm talking about that kind of OCD, the OCD that I've helped thousands over the years overcome. And the heavy metal detox smoothie is a big part of this right here, including helping people with Tourette's. The medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie has reversed people's Tourette's conditions, autism, ADHD, esophagus spasms, tics, spasms, twitches, sleeping disorders, insomnia, okay, and schizophrenia. I mean, it's helped people on all levels. PTSD, not just anxiety, depression, but also PTSD, depersonalization, focus and concentration, memory issues, Alzheimer's. The medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie has reversed people's conditions such as Alzheimer's, bringing people back where people can actually know their name again. That's the power this has, and that's what this has a track record of doing. And the heavy metal detox smoothie has never been better. It's at the point now where the ingredients are perfected. And what I mean by that is I haven't had a chance until pretty recently for the best spirulina and for the best barley grass juice powder that you can ever use in a heavy metal detox smoothie. And that played a big role because over the years, I've had to use inferior spirulinas. I've had to use inferior barley grass juice powders. And I even had to use barley grass before we can get a barley grass juice powder out there. So what happens is when I was younger, Spirit of Compassion told me when I was 7, 8 years old, 9 years old about the medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie and what the ingredients were and how to use them. But it was hard to get the ingredients. It was hard to get the wild blueberry at that time. It was hard to get a spirulina that was worthy. It was hard to get a barley grass that was worthy. It was hard to get anything really. And so as the years gone by, and I can get the best ingredients to actually make it work up to the standard of Spirit of Compassion where it originated. And it started Medical Medium Book 1 as far as published here, even though I was using it years before this. And this is the Medical Medium Book, new edition, revised and expanded. You guys got to check this book out. Your mind will be blown. It's a whole new book in this. So I'm giving you a little bit of history of the heavy metal detox smoothie, showing you the ropes about that, how it works. You're going to get the whole thing today about the power it has. I'm going to make it for us right here. I'm going to talk about things I don't normally talk about within the heavy metal detox smoothie too. So that's exciting. So right now, the medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie is at its most powerful because I got the wild blueberries. I use the Wyman's wild blueberries. But I got that right there. And I got the Vimergy Spirulina barley grass juice powder. So it's never been so powerful with the best ingredients there are to date. And what that means is even more speedier recoveries of anxiety, speedier recoveries of depression, bipolar, depersonalization, OCD, okay, PTSD, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's disease, speedier recoveries, Parkinson's. And there's never been anything out there to reverse somebody's Parkinson's, to reverse somebody's Alzheimer's, to reverse somebody's memory loss, to reverse somebody's OCD condition, Tourette's condition, okay? To reverse any of this. There's never been anything out there, okay? You take a drug and you hope that it kind of minimizes it. That's the best it does, okay? That's all you can do. And even gastroparesis can be toxic heavy metals at times. So, and that has been reversed in a lot of different people over the years when doing the medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie, because you're dealing with the nervous system versus a nervous system gastroparesis with toxic heavy metals affecting those nerves. So we've never been in a place now where it's been so perfect and the opportunity to heal a condition. And this is just these are just some of the conditions I'm talking about. This heavy metal detox smoothie is instrumental with chronic viral conditions, you guys. Epstein, Barr related and caused conditions. Hashimoto's thyroiditis, heavy metal detox smoothie is critical. All right, fibromyalgia, critical. POTS, critical. Raynaud's syndrome, critical. Okay, and these are just some things. Eczema and psoriasis. The reason people in the medical medium community, all right, are reversing their eczema and psoriasis for decades now, getting rid of just thousands and thousands of cases of eczema and psoriasis and dermatitis and vitiligo and other conditions like that and rosacea, is because they've used the medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie and they've gotten the metals out, which took metals away from viruses and pathogens. Toxic heavy metals are in everybody. They are the food that feeds the bugs. So you guys, metals feed bugs. That's how it works, right? And so to get the metals out and get large quantities of metals out of the body, you need a powerful tool, a powerful weapon, and something that works. Now it'd be different if I was sitting here saying, well, I don't know what science says, and I don't know what works or doesn't. Maybe collagen could work, maybe it doesn't. Maybe charcoal works and it doesn't. Maybe something else. But here's the deal, and here's the difference. There's already a track record. There's already a proven, factual track record, street cred, that this heavy metal detox smoothie has reversed conditions, even saved lives, got people's lives better. And that right there is indisputable. Indisputable. Right there. So I'm going to make this for you. I'm going to talk about where we get our toxic heavy metals. Where do they come from? How do we get them? How do they enter the body? What forms? Okay. And I'm going to talk about the best way to make it using the best stuff. That's the stuff I use. Now it matters if I'm using something, because that means it's the best. And that matters to the people who know me, my friends, my family, anybody who knows of me and wants to try something, knowing that I'm using something, they're like, okay, well, that's the best one. Why would he put something in him that's not the best? And this medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie is at its epic height of perfection at this point in time in history, because I've been blessed to discover and find products that actually take it to the next level, because I've had to suffer with inferior products in Spirit of Compassion's heavy metal detox smoothie. And that's been a problem. So over the years, I've had to use a Pacific Spirulina, and it was okay. It was as good as you can get at the time many years ago, right? And then when something came along better, I was able to dump that and move on to something that was so much better. The same thing with Dulce, and the same thing with other things. I was able to move on and get the best stuff out there that there is to make this that epic level of healing, taking it to its full capacity to get somebody better, to get somebody out of bed, to get them recovered, to get them healing, to get their life back, to get rid of that crippling anxiety, that severe depression, and get their memory back, get rid of that depersonalization. And that's just some of the things the Medical Meme Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie has done. And so it's come to a point now where unless something comes out there that's better than like what I'm holding in my hand, as far as the ingredients you see, as far as the Bimergy, Spirulina, and Barley grass, until something comes someday, that would be a different story. But right now, that's the best, and this is at this epic place. I see something right there from Cheryl. What would cause high level of arsenic other than rice? Apple was recently tested for heavy metals, and arsenic was only one that was high. Please advise. Arsenic's in water. So where's your water supply? What's going on with that? What's your water supply in your body? Keep that in mind. Arsenic can be in pipes. So it's another thing too. They have made solder in all the pipes that had arsenic in it. So in all your plumbing pipes, if you got a well, your well pump can have arsenic in it. There's arsenic in soil too. And I'll talk about that in a little bit too. So are you gardening in your garden? Are the farms you're eating local, food that you're eating local? Because a lot of farms use water supplies that have arsenic in it. And I'm not talking about conventional, I'm talking about organic. So arsenic's high in all organic food out there. So keep that in mind too. So organic food has arsenic because all kinds of organic food grown, they use water, they have to pump in, and they don't test that water, and they pump that in. And non-organic food's really high in arsenic. So those are things there too. We also breathe it in. It drops out of the sky. It comes from different areas. And if you have farms, conventional farms nearby, arsenic is in pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. So keep that in mind too. It's in herbicides, pesticides, fungicides. It's on new clothing. So if you buy new clothing, it's fresh on the clothing. Arsenic's in grass-fed beef, very high in grass-fed beef. It's high in lamb. It's high in, so it's out there. And that question's really important because it leads me to the part I want to talk about is we have toxic heavy metals everywhere, and they have completely invaded our lives at this point in time. So it's important to know like where they come from and how to defend ourselves. And one way to defend ourselves is using a tool that has already worked for years. Tool that doctors have been using for their patients for decades when I've been teaching about the heavy metal detox smoothie. And it's critical. It's not just about, hey, have a little garlic, that removes some metals, or make something up like some people have out there that, they'll say, oh, this helps remove metals. Apple cider vinegar can help move metals. No, it can't. ACV doesn't. But it takes a combination that I've been given from my source, starting as a child and then watching it bring lives back, get people out of Mattress Island, get people out of hell, so you can rise out of the ashes. And it's not just one person. It's not just my neighbor back 30 years ago who couldn't walk because of toxic heavy metal poisoning and nobody knew. And then Spirit of Compassion knew and then had her do the heavy metal detox smoothie and she was walking fine and got her life back. It goes back, it's historic. It's not like, hey, what's this guy selling over here? What's this, apple cider vinegar chewies now? What is this, a collagen powder now? It's not BS. That's just BS out there that clogs up the airways for everybody to get just in and out of and suck into and all that and get suckered into. And this has a historic history of working for doctors, of getting Alzheimer's patients walking and talking again, getting people out of crippling depression where they were literally seized up in their bed, rolling around and dying from depression, and having them sip this and move out of it, getting rid of debilitating migraines that were toxic heavy metal caused, eyesight problems, people that were half blind for no reason, 3/4 blind for no reason, got their sight back because of this right here. So it's not like, oh, what's Anthony doing? What's Anthony William doing? He's doing his heavy metal detox smoothie. That's cool. Is that like the ACV gummy bites out there? Or is that like something stupid like mushroom coffee where you're just, that the drug dealers are selling every day now that just get people high on coffee and then throw something in there. That's not it. This is before people's time. Like people that got into health 4 years ago, 3 years ago, people that got into health 10 years ago. This is way before that time. This has more integrity, more merit, more historic truth of people crawling back from sickness than anything else out there that you can buy or find or do or what. This has reversed epilepsy in children. This has stopped many forms of seizures caused by toxic heavy metals. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you is science research didn't know, and still doesn't, that all these conditions I mentioned to you guys just now are caused by toxic heavy metals. But they're starting to figure out, and they're starting to take it. The information's starting to get out there because of the medical medium books. One is the medical medium new edition, but not the new edition, but the original. And this is the new edition. You guys should check this out when you can. That's a question I love right there. Michaela says, how come you need glasses? Just curious. Okay, if you learn the history of medical medium, you might want to get this right here, okay? The origins of a medical medium. Read this chapter out of the new edition so you can learn, okay? What happened since I was age 4, because of having to do readings on people, having to see what's wrong inside their body, I spent 30 years working with people one-on-one, over 250,000 people over the last 30 years before publishing the medical medium books. And with that comes a price. The price is I get what's called snow blindness. I've talked about it in the books. I've lectured about it for years. It's what Spirit of Compassion does, sends down a light, makes it difficult for me to see in the moment because all I see is your organs. I'll see your liver. I'll see your pancreas. I'll see your intestinal tract. I'll see your brain. I'll see your bloodstream. I'll see viruses inside your body. Wherever Spirit of Compassion has given me the gift and the sight to see. But that white light is very blinding. And what it does is it makes me squint. Now, when I'm at home, when I'm around some friends, when I'm actually, around, maybe my family, I don't use the glasses. Glasses just go away. The reason why is because they know that if white light comes, because I'm doing a read when I don't want to, because information's coming down from Spirit of Compassion, they know I'll squint one eye. I'll start to squint one eye is what I'll do. And when I do that, they'll know what it is. But you guys may not. Because when you're all here, Spirit of Compassion's talking to me because I'm getting information about you guys all while we're doing this. So anyway, that's what it is right there. So I can take off the glasses and see perfectly fine, like I've done here on lives and so forth. So, but it's there so that you guys can't tell that I'm squinting after a while from the white light. But either way, I don't know what else to say. But other than that, if you're not happy I wear glasses, I don't know what to tell you guys. I really don't know. So we'll go back to what the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie has done. It has saved lives. That's the key, and it matters. Fern says, I stopped coffee and have never felt better because of you. I'm honored you did. I'm proud of you. It matters. That's today's heroin. So it's good that you stopped it because that's today's crack cocaine, really. The industry has everybody on it. Every single person uses it. Everything from trainers to nutritionists to healers to doctors, whoever it is, they're all high on caffeine. Everybody's jacked up on it. And everybody's telling everybody it's okay to drink it and okay to eat it and okay to have it in your life and eat lots of chocolate. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So I want to talk about where we get our metals before we start. So you guys, if you just got on here, talking about how this Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie has been around for quite a while now. It's reversed tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people's conditions, got their lives back. And that matters because nothing else did that out there. Butter in your coffee didn't, and nothing else does out there. So it's really the difference between when you're really sick versus you're not so sick and you're trying cute little things out there and you're hanging in there and you're trying a little stuff and your acne almost goes away, but doesn't, and things come back and you're feeling okay, you're working out. That's different than sick in bed, you're shaking and tremoring, okay? You're got dizziness, vertigo, tinnitus. You got fatigue to the point you can't take your kids to school. and you're getting an autoimmune diagnosis left and right everywhere, and no one even believes you're sick anymore because you've been sick so long and you're laying in bed. They start thinking you're crazy. I'm talking about people who have been through hell and back. That's what this has done, is got people's lives back. Not the regular BS stuff where, oh, I went on a keto diet and it got me a little better and I lost a little weight. No, try being sick. Try being sick and going through something, raging eczema taking over your body. Well, guess what? You're going to need this. Ain't no keto diet out there going to get rid of all that eczema and get rid of all that psoriasis and get you off all those steroids. And it takes knowledge, it takes tools, and it takes a history of knowing it has worked already. All of it together is good. So, you guys, keep in mind there's a lot of people out there with fake accounts that are pretending to be Anthony William, pretending to be me. So keep in mind, they'll take a photo of me, they'll take a screenshot or something like that, and they'll try to extort money out of you. They'll try to get they'll do wire fraud. There's a lot of imposters out there. I don't sell classes. I don't sell courses. I don't do consultations. I don't do any of this stuff, okay? I write books for you guys. I give free information. I teach you what tools to use, and I want you to get better and heal. So look out for the imposters. All right? So, blueberry pancakes were so good. Educating myself. That's awesome. Okay, you guys. Where do we get metals? So before I make this heavy metal detox smoothie, I just want to give you the rundown. Those are the frozen wild blueberries. These are just incredible. That's the blue gold right there. Really, really beautiful. Got the cilantro. Do you guys keep cilantro in your house? That's important right there. Okay. Got the bananas. Got some extra wild blueberry powder. Got the Vimergy barley grass juice powder. The only one I trust and use. Quality is there's nothing like it. And I got the Spirulina, not the Hawaiian one. I want to say that because people say, well, that must be the Hawaiian one he talked about in his first book. And like I said, you can use that one. You can use somebody else's Spirulina. You can use any Spirulina you can find out there. But this is the one I use, and this is the best one out there to date. Very important. And so when it comes down to removing toxic heavy metals, you want to have the best stuff. Reason why I don't like Pacific Coast Spirulina is because the ocean is polluted. The highest heavy metals come from the West Coast. Bottom line. So the oceans in the West Coast are polluted. So if you're into surfing, you're getting doused with toxic heavy metals on a high degree. Keep that in mind. So you're getting doused with mercury, getting doused with lead, getting doused with aluminum, getting doused with arsenic. So that's on the West Coast and the West Coast oceans. So I don't like West Coast derived products coming out of the ocean on any level. It's why I don't like the Pacific anymore. I don't like Pacific Spirulina. I don't like any of that. So that's number one right there. At the time, years and years ago, the ocean on the West Coast wasn't so bad. It wasn't at this epic, terrible pollution that it is today. 5 years ago, the West Coast, the ocean, was less polluted than it is now. Right now, it's historically dirty on a level no one can imagine, the West Coast. So I'm letting you guys know. 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, it wasn't as bad. And 15 years ago, it wasn't that bad. So as far as like a Spirulina, it's derived from the West Coast. It was the only thing out there at the time. And it just did the job okay enough. And then I had to wait for better ones to come along, better ones. So I would move to another one that was better than that one from, a less polluted source. And then another one. And then finally, I got the best one there ever was, which is the Vimergy Spirulina. So I'm giving you some history. If you look back in my first book, you'll see Pacific Spirulina. But like I said, the ocean was half as dirty as it is now. Now the West Coast water is so bad. People come out of there with infections. They come out of there after swimming or surfing with infections. Whole nother world. It's changed in the last 2-3 years, letting you guys know. Let's see, Dr. Fon, MD, good to see you here. Yep, Hawaii's in the Pacific. So the Spirulina is not as clean. Listen to what he's explaining. So That's important to know right there all on its own. And every little bit counts because it's death by 1,000 cuts out there. That's how it is. So the goal for how it works, as far as the goal for darkness, the goal for the industries, the goal for chemical companies, the goal for all of that is stab you 1,000 times until finally everything goes wrong. And medical medium information is about healing up every one of those stabs wherever we can. It's about countering every little hit, kick, ding, slash, punch. It's about countering every one of those. So you have the tool to move forward. You have the tool to heal. And so let's talk about heavy metal exposure right now. Let's go in there a little bit. And then we'll go into a couple other things too. So guys, if you just got on here, I'm talking about the Vimergy, which is the best products out to date right now. I'm talking about the frozen wild blueberries, which is the best blueberries out there. It's the Wymans. Not sponsored. And not sponsored by Vim. Got the cilantro right here. Got the bananas. I actually want to eat a banana right now because I haven't eaten yet this afternoon. I had some breakfast this morning. I had the celery juice. Already had one of these, but I haven't eaten anything for lunch today. It's getting late. So I'm hungry for this. I can't wait. So let's talk about where we're going to get toxic heavy metals. All kinds of sources, soda cans. If you guys ever touched a soda can, you don't have to drink soda. All you need is a family member or a friend to be like, hey, can you grab me that soda? And you just grab it and you bring it over. You just got aluminum in your body. The oil in your skin draws metals in. That's all. Just touch metal with your hands and you now own it. You own that metal. Bottom line. That's okay. We don't have to be afraid. We just need to actually be able to get it out of us faster than it's coming in. Get the metals out faster than they come in. That's the key. Alexandra Sophia's here. Please have a banana, she said. So we breathe in metals too every day, every minute, and every hour. They come off of your couches. They come out of the formaldehyde that's on your furniture. They come out of your bed. Toxic heavy metals come out of our mattresses, okay? They come out of everything we use. I use metal utensils. I also use wood ones too, but I use metal ones. But I know that I'm getting that out of me easily with the heavy metal detox smoothie. I know I'm getting rid of more than what's coming in. Important to know. Pots and pans. I use stainless steel cookware. I do. Sometimes I do. I got this really killer stainless steel soup pot. It's really big. I like to use it. It fills up really high. Could feed my whole family. Can make a big soup. But we can get metal out of us more and faster than any coming in. See how it works? And that matters. Okay, fluoride treatments. Did you guys ever have a fluoride treatment? Because guess what? That aluminum never left. It's in you. If you're not doing the heavy metal detox smoothie, you're not getting it out. There's toxic heavy metals in the soil. Every carrot you eat, every organic carrot, every organic broccoli, every organic cauliflower, every organic green bean, every organic fruit, every organic herb, all your grass-fed meat, all has toxic heavy metals in it. You hear that? Organic, everybody, has toxic heavy metals in it. It's got arsenic, lead, aluminum, mercury, cadmium, nickel, copper. Because it comes from the water supply that feeds the organic crops that you buy at the food stores. So when you go into the food stores and you're buying your organic vegetables, I got to load up on my organic vegetables, I got to get this, I got to get that. There's toxic heavy metals all in the composition of all those fruits and vegetables. Yeah. If you do conventional produce, right, not organic, there's more. There's more. And so you have to know that every single thing you literally consume, I don't care what food you eat, has a degree of toxic heavy metals in it because it's coming from the water supply pumped in or coming out of wells to take care of all the farmlands. And those have metals in it. Okay? It's also dropping out of the sky. Toxic heavy metals drop out of the sky from chemtrails. They drop out of the sky. You guys should listen to the Medical Medium podcast at Apple Podcasts, the chemtrail episode. They drop out with the chemtrails. They drop out from plain fuel too. All that plain fuel that you see that's just coming out, the metal that's in that petroleum. They blow around, not just that, pesticides, DDT, herbicides blow around all around the world in the air streams filled with toxic heavy metals. Perfume has toxic heavy metal in it. Perfume has copper in it, okay? Sometimes mercury in it, okay? Cologne, that also has nickel in it. Cologne has nickel in it. It has copper in it. Got a little bit of mercury, some colognes. They have metals in them. Scented candles, air fresheners, loaded with toxic heavy metals. You breathe them in wherever you are. You walk into a doctor's office and they got it going on. You breathe in that scented candle. You breathe in some guy's cologne next to you in the doctor's office. You breathe in somebody else's aftershave. You're getting toxic heavy metals. And then you're sitting on somebody's furniture, whether it's in a doctor's office or an appointment, or maybe you're getting your nails done. There's toxic heavy metals all in the nail salons, toxic heavy metals all in the hair salons. It's everywhere and we breathe them in. And then there's toxic heavy metals in the pharmaceuticals, all in big pharma. Titanium in almost every single drug. Antibiotics are petroleum-based, loaded with metals. If you had an antibiotic, you've had toxic heavy metals enter into you. So the bottom line is toxic heavy metals are everywhere. We get them there. We get them at the gas station when we're pumping gas. We get them when we spray some kind of spray or cleaner that's conventional. We get them when we spray some oil spray on the door to stop it from creaking. We breathe it right in. We get it on our fingers. We just got contaminated with toxic heavy metals. And we get toxic heavy metals from car exhaust. You just got to breathe in one fume, one car exhaust fume, one truck fume. All you got to breathe in is maybe the delivery truck that came by. Breathe that in, and you got toxic heavy metals. All right? Dr. Fon says, titanium dioxide in pills. Yes, lots of it too. And then you're trying to take care of yourself and do better, and someone tries to sell you an alkaline ionizer water machine, which has metal plates that corrode in every last one of them. I don't care what brand you throw up on the screen. I don't care what brand you think you have that doesn't. Every last alkaline ionizer water machine leaches out toxic heavy metals because the plates corrode, whether you see it or you don't. And then you think you're doing something good for you, and you're taking more toxic heavy metals than you ever did before. That's just life. Well, that's just a bad product, but also everything else I'm telling you is life. So, what are we going to do? Okay? Toxic heavy metals are everywhere. I'm reading the comments, you guys, as we're doing this. And so it's about countering that. The Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie has done that. And you can't test for toxic heavy metals, you guys. You know why you can't test for toxic heavy metals? Because they sit deep within your organs. Toxic heavy metals sit deep within your brain, your liver, your pancreas, your spleen, your bones. Metals go in your bones. And the only thing I've ever trusted to get the metals out of my body that enter in, okay, is the Medical Medium Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie. And that's what I've always entrusted in. The 5 ingredients that are critical for getting metals out of my bones. Your bones. You know what osteopenia is called? It's caused by osteopenia? Toxic heavy metals. Osteopenia. Toxic heavy metals. Degenerative spine. Scoliosis. Toxic heavy metals. Degenerative disc disease, toxic heavy metals. How about that? Bones getting brittle, bones getting weakened as you age, toxic heavy metals. So do we just kind of leave them in us, or do we work on getting them out? What do you want to do, you know? Because I would rather get them out, is what I would rather do. And that's what I've done. So toxic heavy metals are in our way. Trisha Marie, you're here. And that's been a problem for everybody. So taking control, empowering ourselves, learning to do what works matters. You know? Aaron, IV chelation, mercury goes into tissue, and lead in bones. Can't test for those. Can't test for those unless you do a biopsy of a bone. You can't. Unless you're doing a biopsy of your brain, unless someone drills a hole in your skull and does a brain biopsy, you're not going to know. You're not going to know because blood testing only tests new exposure. So if you're breathing in some air fresheners, that's only new exposure you're going to pick up. You're drinking your water from your ionizer, it's going to be new exposure. Okay, from the toxic ionizer that's leaching metals, it's going to be new exposure. Whatever that is, it's all new exposure. That's what you're going to find in the blood test. But it's in our organs and it's in there deep and it's going to wreak havoc. It gets you a fatty liver down the road. And here's what really, really, really is hard about toxic heavy metals, you guys. What's really hard is they oxidize, wreak havoc, and leach. They rust. Did you guys ever see anything rust before? Have you ever seen anything corrode and rust? I'm just wondering, because anything that corrodes and rusts leaves a stain, right? Have you ever seen that? Something's rusting somewhere, you pick it up. Maybe you got an old screwdriver that's sitting outside in the rain, it's been there for a month, and you grab it and you see a little rust mark starting to develop. Whatever it is, that rust you see, whether it's rust on a car, rust on some kind of door, rust on metal, whatever it is, that rust occurs because that metal's oxidizing. And when your metals sit inside your brain, and they sit inside your liver, and they sit inside your bones, they start to rust, and they start to oxidize. And then we do the high-fat diets, and we're doing more high-fat, and we're doing more high-fat, and we're oxidizing them more because fat and oil makes metals bleed. Just hear me out a second, you guys. Hear me out. Fats and oils make metals bleed and corrode. So the more fat you dump in your body, and I get it, everybody's on high-fat diets. They can't help it. They're told it's perfect to do. They're never taught how not to do it. They're never taught how to minimize them. And the more fats we bring into our body, the more and more we oxidize that metal, and that metal rusts and rusts and rusts. And that's what happens. And when it rusts inside your brain, it leaches and moves over to glial cells. It moves over to more neurons. And then all of a sudden, you're getting some bad anxiety. It's getting worse. You're getting some bad OCD. The OCD is now level 3. It's level 4 OCD. Now you're getting depression. Like, oh my God, now you're getting depersonalization. Now you're bipolar, okay? Which is ridiculous because that diagnosis is so backwards. Because really, it's just no diagnosis. It's like, hey, you're either up or down, so let's just diagnose you with bipolar. Let's create a word that means up or down. How stupid is that, right? Terrible. That's what medical research and science does. Trillions of dollars later, medical research and science doesn't know what causes that symptom of feeling up and down, so they just name it bipolar. It's actually disturbing. So metals are a neuroantagonist. They disrupt your neurons. They explode neurotransmitters as if they were light bulbs. So all your neurotransmitters, all those neurotransmitters are making you communicate. They're making you talk. They're making you walk. They're making you think. You can have a conversation with somebody because all those neurotransmitters are like, right? Well, they explode. They explode like light bulbs, like, that's what neurotransmitters do. And toxic heavy metals in our brain do that. And everybody has them. And we're losing neurotransmitters all the time. And then when you're 50 years old, you're like, what? Huh? What's my name? I can't remember my date of birth. I can't remember my name. That starts happening. Or I don't know, I'm just forgetting things. Who did I have to call? I had to make what appointment today? Oh, I forgot. I have to write that down. You just forget everything. Forget everything. Courtney says, hey, Courtney, glad you're here. How do I get my kids to drink the smoothie? Popsicles. I'm working on a popsicle. Meaning like a recipe to help you guys. people have electricity in their brain because that's what we do. We all have electricity in our brain. You got it. Electricity's running around in your brain. It's running around on neurons. Electrical impulses are swimming around. They're riding through all your brain tissue. You got thoughts, emotions. Whoa, I've been betrayed. Boom. Your electricity is unbelievable. Somebody just broke my trust. Electricity is unbelievable. All this electricity going on, right? I'm happy. I'm happy for a minute. I'm happy for 10 seconds. That's electricity going on, right? And that electricity, but the sad thing is caffeine. Caffeine burns out that electricity. It robs it from you. It's like you take caffeine, chocolate, whatever it is. You're happy for a moment, but that's a drug-induced happy. So your neurotransmitters are getting eaten up by caffeine. It's destroying your brain. And then all this happening, there's metals in our brain, and that electricity is running into that metal, and it's having spark attacks. Sparks are flying. It's like putting a screwdriver in a socket, which I don't want you to do, God forbid. But it's like literally short circuits, and that's a short circuit. So you're getting sick, you're starting to get depression, you're starting to get some OCD, you're starting to get some depersonalization, starting to get anxiety, you're starting to get all of that. And what's happening is, with all that, with all that's happening, all these conditions are starting, and that spark is dying out because those metals, they actually collide with that electricity. So electrical impulses hit the metal inside your brain, and boom, you got OCD cooking. And that OCD can get carried on and become something else, and become something else. So, okay, you guys, your brain lights up like a Christmas tree when I look at it. You know, when I was younger, Spirit of Compassion taught me to look inside people's brains. He would give me the vision. He would show me with the light. And then he would show me that if someone was high in toxic heavy metals in their brain, it would light up like a Christmas tree in the vision field he would give me. And I remember as a kid walking around in crowds of people, and I would see so many Christmas trees, so many people's brains lit up left and right, just lit up. And I'm like, whoa, that person's got a lot of mercury. That person's got a lot of aluminum. That person's got a lot of everything. You know? Question is, where do brain lesions come from? Combination of toxic heavy metals and viruses such as Epstein, Barr, neurotoxins too can do it. So if Epstein, Barr, neurotoxins are really, really responsible for a lot of brain lesions. That's one thing. Toxic heavy metals are responsible for a lot of them too. I've helped a lot of doctors with that very thing with brain lesions. Taught a lot of doctors about how toxic heavy metals work with brain lesions. Brain lesions are toxic heavy metals that start to corrode and they crystallize. The corrosion crystallizes. Did you ever see like a battery that gets too old, you guys? A battery gets too old and it starts to corrode. Well, that's what happens in the brain with these metals when these metals are hitting electricity. Mark says, my memory was in a bad way. After 2 years of the heavy metal detox smoothie, I have my memory back. Thank you so much, Anthony. It matters to me that you got your memory back. See, I go to bed at night, and that's what I think about right there. So that's what I'm thinking about. I go to bed, and I'm thinking about Mark. Like, you got your memory back, right? And that matters to me. It does. I don't clock out. I'm not in a doctor's office if 5 o'clock comes and I kind of clock out and I better just all of a sudden better play tennis now. I'm doing my tennis match with my best friend and now I'm doing that. And now wait, I'm on a boat now. You know, I'm on a boat and I got a martini and now I'm doing that. Or, 5 o'clock happens and boom, I'm off. Family time. Who cares about my patients? I get it. Everybody has the right to have a life. And I get that. But I don't clock out at 5. It goes all day, all night, and then right before I go to bed, I think about you, Mark. I think about you getting your memory back. And I think about every one of you getting something back. That's the bottom line. So let's make the smoothie. So let's do this. Put this over here, okay? So I'm going to put some wild blueberries in here, but first I'm going to drop some bananas in. Let me do that. You guys, don't be afraid of bananas, whatever you do. I'm putting 2 bananas in. You can put more. If you want to put more, you can put more. You can. Some days I will put more. What is in the heavy metal detox smoothie? Sharon asks. I'm going to put the help of these bananas. I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to put, with the help of some wild blueberries, we're going to make this thing. I'm excited. So we're going to put bananas in there. We're going to put some frozen wild blueberries in here, about 2 cups. So I'm just showing you guys right here. These little guys are miracles, is what they are. So let's get these in here. Now I'm going to talk about the power of the wild blueberry. Did you know that you can't kill the wild blueberry plant? Did you know that? Did you know it's impossible to kill them? Did you know it's the only food on the planet you can't kill? Isn't it interesting? Put a little bit more in here, you guys. It's the only food on the planet you can't destroy and stomp out. You can kill all our food. You can kill every cow on the planet and they'll be gone forever. You can kill every strawberry patch on the planet and they'll be gone forever. You can kill every single chicken on the planet and they'll be gone forever. There was this one chicken, though, you guys remember the story a long time ago? Had his head chopped off and was still alive, and then he would eat through his neck. I've asked Spirit of Compassion how that happened and how it was even possible, because it was an absolute mystery to science. And I got the answer, but I'm just not going to tell you right now. I'll tell you maybe on a podcast. So anyway, the bottom line is you can't kill the wild blueberry plant. You can burn it to the ground in the fields and they'll come back up. But you burn an oak tree and it's not coming back up. An oak tree. You can kill every oak tree on this planet and it'll be gone for good. You can't kill the wild blueberry. And guess what? It's that power it has that makes this heavy metal detox smoothie what it is. It's the basis. It's the core. But you got to have everything else. But it's the core. And that matters. So Noel Shepherd says, tell. Hey, Noel. Philip K says, I thought I just said I missed the comment, but glad you're here, Philip K. Appreciate it. So yeah, the bottom line is, it's Michelle L. I just saw that alien chicken. It's funny. This is the core, fundamental basis, the epicenter. The power is in that wild blueberry. But you got to have the rest, and let's go into it. Let's talk about it. First of all, I just put the wild blueberries in here, you guys. All right? Just saying. You see it, right? And the wild blueberry has reaching powers into your brain stem. It's got reaching powers. It can overreach, and that's what you want. And the wild blueberry can do that. Anthocyanins, undiscovered by research at science, sit in wild blueberries because guess what? Science won't take their time out to study it because, like I told you before, to actually fix things on this planet, chronic illness, you would need true science that's actually working for the people and not for somebody's pocket. And so what's in this right here is undiscovered by research and science. Anthocyanins that are undiscovered. That's one of the key tickets. Another key ticket is it literally stops the metals from rusting in the brain. So those frozen wild blueberries stop metals from rusting. So that's the thing right there. I'm giving you some powerful tidbits on each one of these if I can. Let's keep on going. Let's just put some oranges in here. Let's get some oranges in here. Let's do that, you guys. I'm going to cut some orange. These are small oranges, so I'm going to pop in 2. But they're small oranges. I like small oranges. I got a little strainer right here. And you'll see here, it's a metal strainer. What do we have here? Okay? It's a metal strainer. But I don't care. Because whatever little leaches out of the strainer over the years, this smoothie is going to remove it times 1,000. And that's why. So, there's something about insurance, right? You're happy when you got car insurance because if you didn't have car insurance, right, that would be a problem, okay? But the heavy metal detox smoothie is insurance. It's an important insurance policy in your life. And it's one that gives something back to you no matter what. And that's what I love about it. That's how I see it too. It's an important insurance policy. It's like, so I'm popping in some orange here. Alexandra said, AW, is it okay to put the juice of 3 oranges in your heavy metal detox smoothie? Yes, it is. Just saw a question on millet. Yeah, millet's great, but don't put it in your heavy metal detox smoothie, Montana. I know you're not talking about that. All right, I got a little juice. I'm going to put a little more because these are really small. Put a little bit more in here. I squeeze it with my hand. That's what I do. Can we use the whole orange? Cindy says, can we use the whole orange? Yes. All right, so I get a little bit in there. There we go. I got the orange in there. Happy. I'm going to put a little bit of dulse. Put a tablespoon, a few strips in it. You could put a teaspoon if you really want to. It's fine. But I'm putting that in here. A little bit. And then let's go into the rest of this stuff. I got some cilantro to put in, but I'm going to, the barley grass juice powder. So that's the Vimergy one right there. Now, here's an important critical thing to know, all right? You don't want to use barley grass. That you don't want to do. Don't use barley grass. That's important, okay? It has to be barley grass juice powder. The Vimergy one is the best there is, hands down. It's the purest. It is the best. And what I love about it is it has a heavy metal detoxifying structure to it. It's built. It's created. The way it's created, it can absorb metals, hold on to them, pull them out of the body. So it has a magnetic effect to grab onto metal in the body. And that's what I love about it. Because it's not just about removing metals, it grabs onto them as it runs into them floating around. And the reason why you got to have the barley grass juice powder, you got to have the spirulina, you got to have the wild blueberries, you got to have the dulse and the cilantro. They work off each other. They're a team. That's how you get something done. You need a team of people to get something done sometimes, right? You guys, well, you need a team of heavy metal grabbers, detoxifiers, pullers, and dislodgers. That's what you need. So we'll go on. We'll keep on moving along. I just put the dulse in here. Now, what I love about the dulse is it's incredible for grabbing toxic heavy metals out of your intestinal tract. We have toxic heavy metals in our stomachs. Everybody's stomach has got metals in the linings, stuck in the linings. What I love about the dulse, okay, the Atlantic dulse, is it removes metals out of the lining of the stomach. It removes easy to find metals, not deep-seated metals. The barley grass juice powder, the spirulina, the blueberries, get the deep-seated metals. The dulse, it gets perimeter metals that are important to get. Your small intestinal tract, your colon, metals that are feeding bacteria, metals that are feeding viruses, it's getting it out. So that's important there. So I just did a little bit of dulse in there. Let's put some spirulina. So that one's a favorite of mine right there. This is the best stuff on the market today. Hands down. Could bet my life on it. I know what it's comprised of. I've seen every single one out there. I've picked through them tooth and nail, all the stuff. I've talked to all the companies all through the years. By far, best one. And it matters because if you put a crappier one in, which you can, you get maybe some metal out, but not as much as you could have. Or if it's a really bad spirulina, you get no metal out. And these foods have the power of absorbing metals, lots of metal wherever it can find it. And that's what I love about it. So the spirulina. So here's the thing. Here's something that's very important. I'm still making this smoothie. When you remove toxic heavy metals, you got an empty space. You got an empty space. Think about that. Toxic heavy metals make a divot and a pit inside your brain. And the more they oxidize, the bigger the divot. When you have Alzheimer's, that pit is getting big. When you got focus and concentration issues, when you got OCD really bad, the pits and the nooks and crannies get big. So what happens is in your brain tissue, metals start to actually burn a hole in your brain. Electrical impulses are slamming into those metals, and those metals are getting hot, and they're burning into your brain tissue. As that happens over time, you got now a pocket. You got tiny microscopic pockets inside your brain tissue, and that's there. When you remove metals, you still got those pockets. You still got those microscopic issues. And that's why this is a miracle from what I've seen in the last 35 plus years, even longer. The reason why it's a miracle is because it doesn't just take the metals out. It fixes and repairs the hole. And that's the key right there. It's not just taking something out, it's putting something back in. And that's what it's doing. I'm going to put some cilantro here. I love cilantro as a leafy green. There's a question right there from Donna. Is Chlorella okay? No, it's not. No. Seen a lot of people bent over the sides of their bed, barfing for days and days because of Chlorella. I've seen lots of people holding onto the toilet so tight where they lived in the on the bathroom floor for days, puking their guts out because of Chlorella. Chlorella has microorganisms in it that are not supposed to be there, okay? And bacteria, bad bacteria. I wouldn't trust Chlorella. Someone handed it to me, I'd smack it out of their hand because I wouldn't even want it near me. And Chlorella doesn't remove metals. I don't know where that farce came from, and if it ever did remove a little bit of metal, it would drop it immediately. So to this day, I still can't believe it's just out there. I can't tell you how many people have barfed their guts out because of basically food poisoning. And so no, I'm just not a fan, not a fan. There's somebody up there, Roberta says, no wait, let's see, sorry Roberta, they're going up so quick. Anna says, Chlorella made me so sick. God bless you. I hope you got through it. I've known people that have literally been holding onto their toilet on the bathroom floor and like for days until they ended up in the hospital. Many didn't, many did. It's awful. But you know what? I could say it all day long and it's still out there and people are still going to take it. And some influencers are still going to be like, I'm putting Chlorella in my acai bowl and I'm putting Chlorella in my peanut butter smoothie. And it's like, what? It's just like you can't fix everything. You can't fix everything out there. I mean, I've been doing this for 35 years and I just can't fix everything. And all the mess ups. So if someone's high in metals, they'll have an aversion to cilantro. So you're not going to want cilantro. I put cilantro in here, you guys, because you're high in metals. You're not even going to want cilantro. Keep that in mind. If it gives you a bad taste, that means you're really high in heavy metals. If you need it to keep the cilantro out, keep it out. Okay? Keep it out. 3 out of 5 ain't bad. 4 out of 5 ain't bad if you got to do it that way. So if you got to do the spirulina wild blueberry powder, if you can't get wild blueberries, do the wild blueberry powder. I forgot to put that in. You got to do the spirulina, the wild blueberry powder, the barley grass juice powder, wild blueberries, bananas. If you can get stuff like that, but if you have to keep something out like the cilantro, then keep that out and do 4 out of 5. And You're still going to get the metals out, but there's going to be an imbalance, but you live with it until you can handle your cilantro someday. If you don't have frozen wild blueberries, the Bimmergy wild blueberry powder. Anyway, still working on this. Yeah, Corella, seriously. I just saw that comment right there come up where someone was laughing. Let's blend this up. So, reading some comments. What's my opinion on sea moss? I think it's fine. The sea moss isn't going to replace dulse. There we go. I think I've made this a lot of times, I'll tell you. Let's get one going here. And then you could get a spoon and kind of get the rest out. If you can see that. Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie right there. There's a question right there. I have got extreme, so Anna says I've gotten extreme eczema on my hands and arms. Don't understand why. I am doing everything right. Detox? How many fats are in the diet? Because the fats can get in the way. Did you do a new pharmaceutical lately at all? Is there a new pharmaceutical in your life? Something new that you might have got or received? Because there's a lot of metals in there. Eczema is caused by copper and the Epstein-Barr virus inside the liver. So I've talked about that in the books. And are you doing the antiviral protocol? You can take the book to your doctor or healthcare provider, somebody that might help you with the protocol if you want. And there's a protocol in here, antiviral for eczema and psoriasis. Have you embarked on it yet? How far are you going? Because you can go really far to the finish line with the medical medium tools. And are you using the right ingredients? Another thing too to consider, are you doing any nutritional yeast? Get rid of it. Are you doing apple cider vinegar? Get rid of it. You might not be doing any of those. I totally get it. But are you doing caffeine? Are you doing chocolate? All you need is chocolate once a month. The eczema is going to stick around. And is the diet too high in fat because it doesn't allow the copper to leave? So the higher fat your diet is, the harder it is to get that metal out, to get the virus out. So keep them, there's a lot of places to go. Don't do any eggs, don't do milk, cheese, butter, don't do anything like that. And have you done the 369 Cleanse Advance? Have you done that? Have you done the 28-day cleanse in Medical Medium Book 1? By you guys, this is the new edition. I hope you get a hold of it, Amazon.com. Revise and expand it. Carl says, thank you, Anthony. Glad you're here. Thank you for being here, Carls. You guys, if you go to my directory, I see questions about the kitchenware and stuff. Go to my directory, medicalmedium.com. My directory on there. You'll find it. You'll find kitchen stuff, juicers, etc., everything. You'll know which one to use and all that. Drink your smoothie. Then, if I drink my smoothie, I'm going to look like I did on the TikTok video. Did you guys see that? The Morning Cleanse TikTok video? You didn't see that one? The We Will Rock You song? The Queen song? Because I will make a mess. You guys know how I drink my smoothies, right? Just watch that video and you'll see how I drink my smoothies. I'm going to IG and TikTok at the same time. Now, if you go to IG to watch me do this again, talk about stuff, might talk about some different stuff that I didn't cover, I forgot to cover. If you go to IG, just remember, if you're having any kind of glitch, go to TikTok. I'm going to be on there live, just letting you guys know. Love you guys. Bless your heart. And I can't wait to see you guys again. I'll try to do one of these soon, again, with everything else. Lorraine, good to see you. Just saw you go up. You guys, so now I got your back. Want you guys to keep healing. And come on over to Instagram. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll say some stuff. All right, love you. Bye.